The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and gallery will please rise for the invocation, which will be offered by Rabbi Levi Greenberg from Chatabate, El Paso, sponsored by the Honorable Joe Moody of El Paso.
Good afternoon. Master of the universe, bless all of us gathered here today, and especially the distinguished members of the Texas House of Representatives, who have been chosen to make laws and decisions for the citizens of our state in their noble pursuit of justice and equality. This is not only a civic responsibility, but also a holy endeavor. Our tradition teaches of 7 universal laws given to mankind by God through Noah, including the instruction to foster a moral society governed by law. These laws also include the importance of serving God alone, respecting God's name, and the prohibitions against murder, theft, adultery, and cruelty against all living creatures. In these unprecedented and challenging times for our nation and for all humanity, we recall the timeless words of my revered teacher and global spiritual leader, the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem M. Schneerson, whose 75th anniversary of leadership we celebrated last month. He taught, difference need not lead to division. On the contrary, true unity comes from a synthesis of different, even opposite thrusts. Differences between people are overshadowed by what is common to all of us. We are God's creations. Almighty God, inspire us all to nurture an environment of love and acceptance, a deeper appreciation that within each individual lies untapped potential. In the words of the 12th century sage Maimonides, each person must view themselves as though the entire world were held in balance, and with a single good deed, spoken word, or even thought, they could tip the scales, ushering in the era of redemption, as proclaimed by the prophet Isaiah, when nation shall not lift the sword against nation, nor shall they learn war anymore. In the spirit of unity and the power of a single deed, I take this opportunity to place this dollar bill, upon which is printed, "In God We Trust," into a charity box. The charity box reminds us of our obligation and opportunity to be a force of goodness and sharing for our families, our neighbors, and society at large. Almighty God, may our great state serve as a beacon of light, strength, and moral courage as we do our part in preparing the world for an era of global peace and tranquility. Let us say Amen.
All right. The chair recognizes the Honorable Cassandra Garcia Hernandez of Dallas County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members and guests in the gallery, please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to our U.S. and Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now our Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The chair will now hear excuses for absent members. Please excuse Ms. Garcia of Bexar County because of important business in the district on motion of Ms. Campos. Please excuse Representative Plessa because of important business in the district on motion of Mr. Lopez, Representative Lopez of Bexar. Is there objection? Chair is none, so ordered. Let me get Dr. All right, the chair is pleased to recognize Dr. Jorge Duchela from Weimar as Doctor of the Day. Members, please join me in welcoming our Doctor of the Day to the Capitol.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of
admit
the
the
House.
messenger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measure. SB 28, Hall, relating to a lottery game played or facilitated for play by telephone or through
Mr. Patterson moves to defer the reading and referral of bills to the end of today's business. Is there objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Patterson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move to set a congratulatory memorial resolutions calendar for 10 a.m. Thursday, March 6th.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Patterson for another motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House grant permission for all committees and subcommittees to meet while the House is in session pursuant to their committee postings or recess motions. For purpose of this motion, committees and subcommittees scheduled to meet or reconvene today upon final adjournment or recess or during bill referral, permission is granted or authorized to convene upon adoption by the House of today's adjournment motion.
All right, members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. Following announcement, the clerk will read the announcement.
The Committee on Local and Consent Calendars will meet at 9:15 a.m. Wednesday, March 5th in the Agricultural Museum in a formal meeting to consider a congratulatory and memorial calendar.
All right, members, we have some resolutions and recognitions. Please take your conversations outside the rail. I believe the first one you're going to want to pay attention to. All right, the chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the resolution in full.
H.R. 384. Whereas State Representative Denise Villalobos and her husband Ruben Villalobos of Corpus Christi are celebrating a joyous occasion on February 27, 2025, when they officially adopt their 2-year-old son, Ezekiel James Villalobos. And whereas the couple welcomed Ezekiel into their loving home soon after his birth on February 17, 2023, initially embracing him as foster parents. They have since embarked on an emotional journey through the process of adopting him and making him a permanent member of their family. And whereas, sharing in the Villalobos family excitement are Representative Villalobos' colleagues in the Texas House of Representatives, as well as the couple's friends and neighbors in the Corpus Christi and Nueces County communities. A freshman legislator, Representative Villalobos, assumed office on January 14, 2025. Both her and her husband are chemical engineers with extensive experience in oil and gas industry. And whereas Denise and Ruben Villalobos have been blessed immeasurably by the wonderful addition of Ezekiel into their home and into their lives, it is truly a pleasure to join the couple in commemorating this heartwarming occasion. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the 89th Texas Legislature hereby congratulate State Representative Denise Villalobos and Ruben Villalobos on their adoption of their son, Ezekiel James Villalobos, and to extend to them the best, sincerest wishes for continued happiness and fulfillment as a formally unified family, and it be further resolved that an official copy of this resolution be prepared for Mr. Representative Villalobos' expression of the highest regard by the Texas House of Representatives.
Chair recognizes Mr. Dyson for some remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll keep it brief because the star of the show is up there already, but I just want y'all to join me in congratulating the Villalobos on bringing home Ezekiel and making him a permanent member of the family. Please join me one more time in congratulating them.
The resolution was previously adopted. We'll do one more round of applause in celebration of it. Members, please take your conversations outside the rails. Chair recognizes Mr. Moody for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 351.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 351 by Moody, recognizing April 9, 2025 as Education and Sharing Day in honor of Rabbi Menachem Mendel Swenson.
Chair recognizes Mr. Moody to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. And if you would indulge me for just a second, members, you'll notice that there's these little yellow arcs on your desk today. I'm going to tell you about them in just a second, but before we do that, I want to take time to recognize the leaders from the Chabad across Texas. They're here with us today. We have them from many communities. In fact, the Chabad is active in 43 communities across Texas. 70 rabbis and their spouses lead those faith communities across the state of Texas. Joining us on the dais today is Rabbi Chaim Lazaroff, Rabbi Israel Greenberg from El Paso, Rabbi Shlomo Braun from the newest community center in Lubbock, Rabbi Mendy Levertov from here in Austin, and Rabbi Levi Teldon, the Chabad of San Antonio. We are honoring Education and Sharing Day today, and it pays tribute to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, who concentrated his efforts on rebuilding and energizing the global Jewish community after the devastation of the Holocaust. He paid great attention to the needs of all humanity. The Rebbe taught that every individual and every individual action has an impact on our universe. The Rebbe emphasized the importance of education and good character and instilled the hope for a brighter future into the lives of countless people in America and across our globe. The plastic yellow box on your desks is a giving box known as an ARC. An ARC stands for Acts of Random Kindness. I got ahead of myself. Acts of Random Kindness. And so it's part of a global initiative to train people to be givers. This box that's been placed on your desk is yours to keep. It's yours to fill and then to share the contents with a charity of your choice. If you notice the writing on the top, fill and share. Place this in a position of prominence in your home or in your work. It'll start a conversation about charity and giving, and when it's full, you can give it to the charity of your choice. It instills in us that value of giving, that value of paying forward. And there's no greater way that we can observe Education and Sharing Day than by making giving a habit in each and every one of our lives. Therefore, transforming acts of random kindness into acts of routine kindness. That is our goal here today. Mr. Speaker, members, I thank you so much for your attention, and I look forward to seeing these in your offices and across the state of Texas as I come visit you. I know that Representative Howard wanted to recognize some of the rabbis from here in Austin as well.
Chair recognizes Ms. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. In addition to Rabbi Mendy Levertov, who's on the dais, we also have, I believe, y'all can stand up. Thank you. We also have Rabbi Yosef Levertov, Rabbi Mendel Hertz, Rabbi Levi Levertov, Rabbi Shmuel Levertov, Rabbi Zev Johnson, and Rabbi Mendel Marisol. Thank y'all for being here.
Chair recognizes Mr. Moody.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. And members throughout the day, I know we have rabbis from around the state, Austin, San Antonio, College Station, Corpus Christi. I saw Todd Hunter up here visiting us. Folks from North Texas and Dallas. We have many from Houston, from League City, from Round Rock, from San Marcos, from the Woodlands. So when you have time, as they're visiting today, thank them for sharing this message of charity with us, and make sure that you take this home and share this with your families and with your communities as we continue to pay that gift forward. Members, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Rosenthal moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair has none. So ordered. Members, please take your conversations outside the rail. Chair recognizes Mr. Bell for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we suspend all rules necessary to take up and consider H.R. 205.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair has none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 205 by Bell of Montgomery, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Montgomery County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Bell to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Montgomery County is a great place to call home and have a business, to raise your kids, and to just call home. It's my distinct honor and privilege to recognize the following members who are on the dais with us. Joining us on the dais, Clint Nichols, who is the Lake Conroe Chamber Chairman, Ann Wolford, the Woodlands Area Chamber Chairman of the Board, Skip Colvin, the Greater Magnolia Parkway Chamber Director at Large, Shane Harper, Greater East Montgomery County Chamber Chairman, and Chris Hoffman, Montgomery County Hispanic Chamber of the Board. There's also a bunch of folks from Montgomery County in the gallery. Would you guys please stand so we can recognize you?
Chair recognizes Ms. Holt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the House, visitors in the gallery. I am honored to represent, as part of House District 18, the vibrant and innovative residents of East Montgomery County, including the communities of Splendora, Roman Forest, Patton Village, and Wood Branch. Its exceptional schools and expanding business networks have put East Montgomery County in the spotlight of the fast growth experience that is happening in Montgomery County. The strength of Montgomery County and East Montgomery County is its people. They stand together, support one another, and lift each other up in times of adversity as well as in times of prosperity. So welcome to your capital, East Montgomery County. Today I celebrate you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Toth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. You could refer to this session, not just this day, as the Montgomery County session, because it's hard to find a day when the folks from Montgomery County aren't in the Texas Capitol. You guys are always working to make this a freer, better, friendlier place to live. And I want to take this opportunity to recognize the Woodlands Township directors up in the audience as well, if you'll please stand. We love you guys, appreciate you. You're the beacon of freedom and joy. God bless you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Bell.
Mr. Speaker, members, join me in welcoming Montgomery County to their Texas Capitol. Thank you. Move adoption.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Ms. Holt moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. This is Mr. McLaughlin for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to consider H.R. 392.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair has none. The rules suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 392 by McLaughlin, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Pleasanton Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. McLaughlin to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am honored to be joined here today by Mayor J.R. Gallegos, Mayor Pro Tem Joy McCong, and Pleasanton leadership in the gallery to celebrate March 4th, 2025 as Pleasanton Day. Please give them a warm welcome to their Texas State Capitol. Known as the city of live oaks and friendly folks, Pleasanton was established in 1858 and flourished as a vital hub for cattle drivers journeying to Kansas. Pleasanton is home to more than 11,000 residents and maintains its small-town charms, showcasing vibrant culture through its cherished annual celebrations, including Cowboy Heritage Days, Merry on Main, and a spirited 4th of July festival. The citizens of Pleasanton have much to be proud of as they remain dedicated to preserving their community's storied past and embracing opportunities for the future. Members, please join me in recognizing the citizens of Pleasanton as we celebrate President's Day at the Capitol. Thank you. I move adoption.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair has none. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Ms. Jones of Harris to speak for recognition.
Good morning, members, guests, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to recognize the Texas Southern University, and for me, this celebration is personal. Both of my parents attended Texas Southern. My mother earned her degree there, and my father studied under the renowned John Biggers before he passed away. As a child, I spent countless hours in the TSU library where my love for reading was born. TSU is more than just a university. It is a beacon of opportunity, particularly for students from underserved communities. It is one of the largest and most respected historically black universities in the nation and has shaped leaders in law, business, education, politics, science, sports, and the arts. Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, and Craig Washington, all of whom served in this very body before continuing their legacies in the U.S. Congress. Esteemed graduate Michael Strahan has excelled on and off the football field from the NFL to national television. TSU has also made its mark in athletics, producing numerous Olympic medalists who have represented our country on the world stage. And of course, we can't forget TSU's world-renowned Ocean of Soul marching band, which recently performed with Beyonce. I also know firsthand the excellence of a TSU education. My son is a well-educated graduate of Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and he's already excelling as a newly licensed attorney. His success is a testament to the strength and quality of TSU's academic programs. Today, TSU continues to lead in academics, research, and service, and I want to recognize some of the extraordinary individuals who uphold its legacy of excellence. First, President James Crawford, whose leadership and vision continue to elevate TSU. Board of Regents Chair Brandon Simmons, whose stewardship ensures TSU remains at the forefront of innovation. Caitlin Vaught, Student Government Association President, who represents the aspirations of TSU students. Brianna Turner, Miss TSU, and Jackie Edwards, Mr. TSU, who embody the university's spirit of excellence. As we celebrate TSU, oh, he's an alpha man as well? All right, Fred. As we celebrate TSU, I must highlight a pressing issue. TSU has aged facilities that need to be updated to match the excellence of its graduates. TSU students deserve state-of-the-art facilities that reflect their talents and aspirations. Investments in TSU's infrastructure is an investment in Texas's future. Texas Southern University, you are more than an institution. You are a legacy. You are a cornerstone of pride, opportunity, and excellence in Texas. As a proud supporter of TSU, I honor your history, your future, and the generations of excellence you continue to produce. And I'd like to recognize my, oh, I'm sorry.
Chair recognizes Representative Bowers.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to my TSU Tigers for being in the House with us today. I want to say welcome to you. And it is indeed an honor to celebrate my alma mater. There are many of us up here that are alums, but certainly to celebrate the Tigers in the Capitol today. I want to add, in addition to what Representative Jones said, that TSU is a place where leaders are made. And I'm proud to say that TSU shaped the leader that I am today. My mother, former board regent, former Miss TSU, and former 3-degreed alum from Texas Southern would be proud. She is sending her love from home, but I want to say from the beginnings in 1927 to becoming one of the nation's top HBCUs, TSU has been a pillar of opportunity, excellence, and progress. The university continues to uplift students through groundbreaking programs like TSU Promise, making higher education more accessible, and TRIO support services, ensuring that every student has the tools to succeed. TSU isn't just a school. It's a community that empowers and inspires and leads with love. I am forever grateful for the impact that it's had on my life, and I know it's a legacy we will continue for generations to come. So thank you for coming to your state capitol today, and if you will join me, the Tigers up here, TSU, TSU, we love you. Go Tigers!
As is Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to be redundant, but it was Texas Southern University that provided me with the leadership opportunities that afforded me the opportunity to be a state representative. Because as a student at Texas Southern University, I got a chance to do what was called, it still is called, the Texas Legislative Internship Program, known as TLIP. It was as a TLIP intern that I came here at the Capitol to open my eyes about opportunities and one day dreaming that I too could be a legislator. But if it wasn't for that internship that I did as a student while at Texas Southern University, I know for a fact I would not be here today. So I thank Texas Southern University for providing students like me who lack confidence, students like me who really wasn't sure what they were going to do with their lives, that shaped me, that elevated me, that pushed me to become the person I am today. So I will forever be grateful to Texas Southern University and all the Tigers that invested in me, that believed in me, and it continues to be a bastion of hope for many students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, many students that are first generation to go to college. Thank you, Texas Southern University, for being one of the #1 HBCUs in the entire United States of America. And thank you, TSU.
Nobody else wants to say anything? Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members, this was a recognition, so let's have one more round of applause for Texas Southern University.
The chair recognizes Mr. Martinez for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, just want to give a quick recognition to our Hidalgo County constables who are joining us here today, Mr. Celestino Avila, constable, and all of their constables that are here. We thank you for your service and welcome to your Texas House.
The chair recognizes Mr. Wally for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to recognize a special group of students from St. Ambrose Catholic School in Northwest Houston. If they'd like to stand and be recognized, all the children of the 7th grade class, if y'all stand and be recognized so we can see you on the camera. And so I do want to recognize Father Hugh of St. Ambrose Catholic Church, but also he leads this school. Our principal, Mr. Saldivar, Ms. Garza, who's a 7th grade junior high teacher, and the parents that are here that brought the students here. And we love having you here. I know that the school is technically in Representative Penny Morales' Shaw's district. We visited earlier with them and Senator Molly Cook, and so I just want to say congratulations. Actually, all these students have been here. This is their first time at the Capitol, so it's really wonderful that these children get to see the Capitol. And one final thing, I do got to shout out my two boys, Armando and Joaquin, that attend St. Ambrose Catholic School. So thank you, gentlemen and young ladies. I hope that you can take these seats when we're gone from this body. So congratulations on being here, and welcome to your Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Louderback for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 426, recognizing March 4th as Victoria Chamber Day.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 426 by Louderback, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Victoria Chamber Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Louderback to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am proud to welcome and represent the Victoria Chamber of Commerce. First organized in 1912, Victoria is one of the oldest chambers of commerce in the state of Texas. The chamber itself has more than 700 active business partners and plays a vital role in leading, empowering, and uniting the business community. Today, the Victoria Chamber brought several of their members to the Capitol to meet with their state legislators and build relationships between the city and the state. It was a pleasure to visit with them this morning and discover the critical issues facing our community and our state. Thank you to Victoria Chamber of Commerce and President Lyons for all you do for the community. It's an honor to represent you. Please join me in welcoming them to the Capitol. Move for adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the resolution is adopted. Ms. Holt moves to add all members' names. Is there objection? The chair hears none. So ordered. The chair recognizes Dr. Buckley for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 341.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 341 by Buckley, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Communities in Schools Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Dr. Buckley to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, members, I'm proud to stand before you to recognize Communities in Schools Day at your state capitol. Members, I know many of you are familiar with the great work that CIS does in your school districts and across the state. Communities in Schools is the largest provider of school-based behavioral health services for students in Texas, providing more than 700,000 hours of mental health support to school students just last year. Through their statewide network of 27 affiliates, CIS serves more than 122,000 students on over 1,400 school campuses in nearly 200 school districts in Texas. CIS site coordinators work in partnership with campus leaders to create a multi-tiered academic and behavioral support plan for students that in turn helps them close the achievement gap and reduce chronic absenteeism. CIS affiliates leverage state funding with additional public and private fundraising from local communities. Members, for every $1 invested by the state, CIS provides nearly $5 in services. They're at the Capitol today to advocate for additional state funding to meet the unprecedented demand from school districts seeking support from CIS, and I look forward to helping them with that effort, as many of you do as well. Members, we're also very honored to have students that participate in CIS from Uvalde High School. They're here with us today, and we appreciate them being with us. Please, could you all stand and be recognized if you're a CIS? Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Manuel for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to take a special moment to recognize some people from my district. We're having Golden Triangle Days today here. If you're from the Golden Triangle, which I call God's country, can you just stand up really quick, please? From my district, yes. We are what I call God's country in the southeast part of Texas. And I don't know where she is, but my mom is here somewhere over there. Hello. And if you all can come and join us tonight, thank you so much. And it is an honor to serve you all and to be a part of this great community. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Hicklin for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to welcome special guests from Temple, Texas to the House Chamber. We have the Leadership Temple class and our Temple Chamber of Commerce Public Policy Council and Board leadership with us today. These groups work continually to improve the city of Temple and to help it continue to be a wonderful place to live and do business. Will you please stand up and be recognized?
The chair recognizes Ms. Lopez of Cameron for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend unnecessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 436, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Justices of the Peace and Constables Day at the State Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 436 by Lopez of Cameron, recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Justices of the Peace and Constables Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Ms. Lopez to explain the resolution.
Members, the history of the offices of Justices of the Peace and Constables is closely linked to the early days of Texas, with the first Justice of the Peace, or alcalde, appointed in 1823 in the Colorado District of Stephen F. Austin's first colony, and the first constable appointed by the first judge later that year. The Justices of the Peace and Constables Association was formed in 1945 to represent the many elected officials in these positions. Today, it is the largest organization of elected county officials in Texas, with over 2,000 members, several hundreds of them in this building today. Please stand. They were here earlier. Among them, from the Board of Directors, visiting their state capital today are President Judge Holly Williamson, President-elect Constable Carlos Lopez, Second Vice President Judge J.R. Woolley, Third Vice President Constables Justin West. Also here today are the Justices of the Peace and Constables legislative teams. Members, help me give them a warm welcome. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Ms. Holt moves to add all members' names. Is there objection? The chair hears none. So ordered. The chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up House Resolution 248, making today Alpha Phi Alpha Day at the Texas State Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 248 by Reynolds recognizing March 4th, 2025 as Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am so excited to welcome our ice cold brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity to our state capitol today. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity is the first Black Greek letter fraternity founded on December the 4th, 1906 on the campus of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. It was founded by 7 men who we refer to as our Jews, that wanted a fraternity to deal with the racial climate that was happening at that time. They wanted to come together so that they could matriculate and have some cohesive camaraderie to overcome many of those challenges and barriers. And today, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity has over 50 chapters and thousands of members in the great state of Texas. Nationally, there's over 300,000 men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. This fraternity has been very instrumental in shaping this nation's history. It was visionary leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., like W.E.B. Du Bois. There were so many other alphas that broke down barriers of this country that once existed, like Jim Crow laws. It was the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. And so I'm proud to join at the dais with a brother, Representative Benton Jones. We have Brother Senator Boris Miles in the State Senate. And of course, we have many others that have represented this body before, most recently, State Representative Sylvester Turner. Our fraternity is guided on manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. Our fraternity is instrumental in giving back. We have programs like A Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, and Go to High School, Go to College. Our fraternity has served as mentors for many other young men that didn't have fathers in their lives so that they could aspire to do meaningful things with their lives. They have countless volunteered in schools to help students to think about going to college. They have broke many barriers in business, in sports, in the economy, and of course in politics. And so we're so proud of these great men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. And today, we have some of the leadership in the state. We have our Southwestern Regional Vice President, Jermaine Netherly. We have our Texas District Director, Daryl Robinson. We have Alpha Phi Alpha Day Capital Chairman, Jesse Roble. We have Alpha Phi Alpha Co-Chairman, Commissioner Kendrick Jones. And we have a host of brothers donning the black and old gold in the gallery. Brothers, would you, I think they're already standing. Brothers, and would you please recognize some great members, including Constable in the gallery.
The chair recognizes Mr. Jones.
Just wanted to echo everything that my brother, State Representative Ron Reynolds said in welcoming the Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha here at our state capitol. And that's all I had. Thank you so much.
The chair recognizes Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the Alpha Sigma Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and their president, Mr. Jeff Greenwood, and one of my favorite constituent, Andre Turner. And also, y'all clap, don't just say Also, I would like to acknowledge another chapter in Dallas County, which is the Gamma Upsilon Lambda chapter with the president, Mr. Anthony Peterson. So, all right. So, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to acknowledge my friends.
Acknowledge your father, who is going on to our Omega chapter, Charles Rose, who was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. So I had to do that for you, Representative Rose. And finally, these brothers are here advocating for good public policy. So if you see one of these gentlemen, know that they're here not just as a way to get to their capital, but they're advocating for good public policy. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Mr. Jones moves to add all members' names. Is there objection? The chair hears none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Ms. Howard for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, hopefully some of you have had visits today in your offices from nurses. Today is, okay. Okay. Today is Texas Nurses Day at the Capitol, and I know we have at least a few nurses left because they came by my office, so please stand. Oh, we got more over here, great. I'm joined by those of us who care about health care, doctors, chair of public health, whatever it is, and other members here who care about what's going on with our healthcare system. Nurses are the backbone of our healthcare system. They care for Texans each day in hospitals, nursing homes, home health agencies, schools, and other settings. Registered nurses constitute the largest healthcare profession in the state, and they help to ensure that Texans have access to quality health care at all stages of life. Nurses bravely served on the front lines during the COVID-19 pandemic and protected the health of Texans, often putting their own well-being in jeopardy. Every year, nurses are consistently rated by the Gallup poll as the most trusted profession. Through their deep commitment to the health and well-being of their patients and their advocacy on behalf of quality health care, Texas nurses have earned the lasting respect, admiration, and appreciation of all Texans. I am proud to be a nurse, and I'm honored to recognize today as Nurses Day in the Texas House. Thank you for being here.
The chair recognizes Ms. Leo Wilson for a recognition.
Speaker Burrows and members, I am pleased to introduce a small group from UTMB, the undergraduate honors nursing students who traveled from my district to be here today. Let's welcome them to our state capitol. These dedicated nursing students are interested in learning about policy process and will spend the afternoon experiencing the 89th legislative session. UTMB's School of Nursing improves the health of Texas by advancing nursing excellence through leadership, clinical practice, education, research, and service. And not to brag, but UTMB School of Nursing was recently honored as providing the #1 online master's program in Texas. Future nurses and leaders, enjoy your day at the Texas State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Ms. Flores for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to recognize representatives of St. Edward's University from my district here in Austin. They're here to commemorate a great achievement, the opening of the university's nursing program. St. Ed's admitted its inaugural class of nursing students in the fall, and the school launched its first program of study housed in the new School of Health Sciences. Please join me in welcoming President Dr. Montserrat Fuentes, Provost Marianne Ward Peradosa, Dr. Donna Buke, the Interim Dean of the School of Health Sciences and founding Nursing Director, Dr. Mona Gaw, Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer of Ascension, Texas, members of the university's nursing faculty, and students from St. Edward's University. Please join me in welcoming them to our state capitol. Thank you all for being here, and we are very proud of you for doing this at St. Edward's University.
The chair recognizes Ms. Howard for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I am doing a recognition for Dr. Oliverson, who had to leave the floor for a moment. This is for the Texas Society of Gastroenterology and Endoscopy as they observe their Legislative Advocacy Day at the State Capitol as designated by H.R. 443. Founded in 1975, TSGE represents over 800 physicians and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to preventing, diagnosing, and treating digestive diseases across Texas. This recognition is especially timely as March marks Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, a critical reminder that early detection saves lives. TSGE plays a vital role in increasing access to life-saving screenings and advancing medical education to improve patient care throughout our state. I ask my colleagues today to join me in welcoming the members of the Texas Society of Gastroenterology and Endoscopy who are with us today in the gallery. If they're still here, would you please stand? Not sure? Regardless, oh, there you are. Okay, we thank you for your dedication to public health and continued advocacy for better healthcare outcomes for all Texans. Thank you, members, and Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Schofield for a recognition.
Mr. Speaker, members, it is my honor to announce the arrival of one of our latest Texans, Henry Robert St. Paul, who was born on Saturday, March 1st, 2025. His mother is my Chief of Staff, Annie Caligari St. Paul. His father is Merritt St. Paul, and his great-grandfather, he used to sit right over there, was my predecessor in the House, former State Representative Bill Caligari. Won't you please join me in welcoming Henry to Texas?
Hey, welcome, Henry.
The chair recognizes Ms. Bowers for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'd like to invite members of the House Democratic Caucus and all members for a presentation on mental health and wellness by the Executive Director of the American Psychiatric Association Foundation on Thursday this week, March 6th at 4 p.m. in room E1014 with a reception immediately following. I'll be doing a reminder as we move along this week. The executive director is my brother, so thank you.
Members, the Speaker's desk is clear. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. Mr. Hefner moves that the House adjourn pending the reading and referral of bills until 10 a.m. Wednesday. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned pending reading and referral of bills.
The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral to committee. The clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 601 by Leilani relating to increasing the criminal penalty for the offense of making a firearm accessible to a child, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 602 by Swanson relating to the qualifications for serving as a member of the Board of Directors, Municipal Utility District, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 603 by Tepper relating to the operation of school buses at certain railroad grade crossings, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 604 by Patterson relating to scheduling of the first day of school for students by school districts, referred to the Committee of Public Education. HB 605 by Joseph Harris relating to the authority of the Harris County Hospital District to employ and commissions peace officers, refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 606 by Harrison relating to de novo review interpretation of state laws and state agency rules by reviewing court judges and administrative law judges, refer to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 607 by Flores relating to prohibited discrimination by healthcare providers by an individual's age, race, disability, immigration status, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity expression, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 608 by Rosenthal relating to the electric power grid purchased by the ERCOT Power Region, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 609 by Vassie relating to cleaning of a structure used for grow oysters to cultivated oyster mariculture, refer to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 610 by Leo Wilson relating to the severance payment of a superintendent of a school district, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 611 by Meza relating to electronic voter registration, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 612 by Shaheen relating to the establishment of an education savings account program and insurance premium tax credit for contributions made for purposes for growth of that program and the award of attorney fees and actions to challenging certain educational choice programs, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 613 by Rosenthal relating to the interconnection of ERCOT power grid to grids outside the ERCOT power region, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 614 by Busey relating to the procedures for voting after changing residence to another country, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 615 by Gonzalez of El Paso relating to policies and procedures regarding a public school student who knowingly produced or distributed certain intimate videos or images depicting another student, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 616 by Busey relating to health benefit plan coverage for certain at-home risk testing kits, referred to the Committee on Insurance. HB 617 by Lopez Bear relating to prohibition on housing discrimination on a basis of veteran status and to the enforcement of the prohibition, refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 618 by Wally relating to health benefit plan coverage for certain fertilization procedures for certain governmental employees and retirees, refer to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 619 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the transfer of an athletic participation purpose for a student for the district or the student's residence of another district, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 620 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the financial assistance program for open enrollment charter school facilities, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 621 by Patterson relating to the authority of Property Owners Association to regulate the assembly, association, and speech of property owners of residentials related governmental officials or candidates of political office, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 622 by Banal relating to mandatory sales price disclosure in commercial and industrial real property sales, providing a criminal penalty, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 623 by Reynolds relating to creating a criminal procedure for the unlawful transfer of a semi-automatic rifle, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 624 by Thompson relating to the placement of a community supervision, including deferred injunction, community supervision of a defendant who is the primary caretaker of a child, refer to the Committee on Corrections. HB 625 by Leilani relating to halal food option for breakfast and lunch programs provided by public schools, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 626 by Bell of Montgomery relating to granting limited state law enforcement authority to certain federal law enforcement officers, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 627 by Cortez relating to the requirements of applications for low-income housing tax credits for certain developments financed through the Private Activity Bond Program, refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 628 by Meza relating to early voting by mail for any qualified voter, to the repeal of certain criminal offenses concerning the solicitation and distribution of an application to vote by mail, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 629 by Leo Wilson relating to the advanced placement courses that may be offered by a school district, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 630 by Vasut relating to the certificates of a title for certain onboard motors, refer to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 631 by Swanson relating to the requirements of certain petitions requesting an election ballot propositions to the related procedures and provisions, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 632 by Busey relating to the regulation of the practice of pharmacy, refers to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women's and Children's Health. HB 633 by Busey relating to the days and hours in which the polls are open for early voting by appearance, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 634 by Lopez Abera relating to the creation of a task force to evaluate the housing needs of senior citizens who are lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, queer, or questioning, refer to the Committee on House Administration. HB 635 by Flores relating to the authority of certain state employees to work flexible hours, to work from home or otherwise authorized work sites, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 636 by Wally relating to the implementation of statewide homeless data sharing network to the real-time data on homelessness, referred to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 637 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the regulation of bleeding control stations in public schools, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 638 by Tepper relating to a requirement that certain water districts make audio and video recordings to open meetings available on the internet, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 639 by Goodwin relating to the inclusions of a licensed firearm dealer of a firearm safety device or secure firearm storage device and certain informations will transfer of a firearm, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 640 by Baumgartner relating to the Office of an Election Authority during election period, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 641 by Gonzalez of El Paso relating to the digital citizenship instruction in public schools, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 642 by Bernal relating to the limitations of the total amount of ad valorem taxes that a school district may impose on certain residents' homesteads of the following substantial school tax increase, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 643 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the requirement of payment bonds for certain public work contractors, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 644 by Bell of Montgomery relating to the civil liability of certain businesses in connection with allowing concealed handguns on the business premises, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 645 by Gonzalez of El Paso relating to the provision of co-navigation services of individuals who are deaf and blind, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 646 by Vasut relating to the use of an unmanned aircraft to locate and retrieve unwounded or killed wildlife, referred to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 647 by Patterson relating to the removal of certain restrictions imposed on driver's license or imposing a fee, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 648 by Cortez relating to the regulations of the clotheslines by a property owners association, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 649 by Busey relating to the electronic transmission of a ballot to a voting early by mail on the ground of absence from these county of the residents, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 650 by Deala relating to the credit for the prepayment of the amount required to be paid by the school district for the purchase of attendant credit under the public school finance system, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 651 by Moody relating to abolishing the death penalty, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 652 by Harris Davila relating to prohibited uses of public money by certain municipalities and counties that reduce or reallocate funding or resources for certain law enforcement agencies, referred to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 653 by Howard relating to the purchase and the use of contraceptions and access to contraceptive information, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 654 by Leo Wilson relating to the dismissal of criminal charges related to illegal hunting of certain deer, authorizing fees referred to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 655 by Reynolds relating to extreme risk productive orders creating criminal offenses, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 656 by Thompson relating to law enforcement policies regarding the issuance of citations for misdemeanors punishable by fine only and to a limitation on the authority to arrest a person for a certain fine only misdemeanors, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 657 by Busey relating to requirements for counties posting election information on an internet website, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 658 by Tupper relating to carrying weapons by community supervisions or corrections department officers, juvenile probation officers, and certain retired law enforcement officers in the criminal liability for taking a weapon of those certain officers, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 659 by Gervin Hawkins relating to requiring cultural inclusion as a part of social studies curriculum for public schools, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 660 by Wally relating to employee caseload limit for child and adult protective services and child care licensing services and calling processing goals for certain of those services, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 661 by Gervin Hawkins relating to a deadline for completing services under a family service plan, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 662 by Flores relating to the adoption of cats and dogs previously used for research, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 663 by Harrison relating to the limitations on the applicability of certain statutes to high-speed rail, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 664 by Bernal relating to the consideration of location and principal's place of a business and awarding certain municipal contracts, referred to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 665 by Busey relating to the Secretary of State posting the Secretary of State's internet website databases containing information about elections, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 667 by Lalani relating to halal food option for breakfast and lunch programs provided by certain public schools, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 668 by Bella Montgomery relating to the renewal of a license to carry a handgun, referred to the Committee on Public Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 669 by Gonzalez de Paso relating to a database of employees penalized to the failure to pay wages or convicted of certain criminal offenses involving wage theft, referred to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 670 by Busey relating to the authority of a taxing unit other than a school district to establish the limitation of the amount of ad valorem taxes that a taxing unit may impose on the residence homestead of an individual or an elderly, disabled or elderly, and their surviving spouses, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 671 by Shaheen relating to the use of a political subdivision of public funds for lobbying and certain other activities, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 672 by Leo Wilson relating to the use of a political contribution to pay a civil penalty for the fine imposed by the Texas Ethics Commission, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 673 by Thompson relating to the eligibility of certain first responders for work compensation benefits for post-traumatic stress disorder, referred to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 674 by Spiller relating to the prosecution and punishment of certain criminal offenses committed in the course on, of, for, or the purpose of avoiding certain law enforcement checkpoints or evading an arrest or detention, increasing criminal penalties, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 675 by Pursuit relating to the imposition of charges by a governmental body for providing copies of public information under the Public Information Law, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 676 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the use of an unmanned aircraft to locate and retrieve wounded or killed wildlife, referred to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 677 by Diala relating to the restrictions on political activities of county's election administrator, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 678 by Wali relating to the inclusion of the National Sexual Assault Hotline on certain student identification cards issued by a public institution of higher education, referred to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 679 by Busey relating to the local option election for the sale of certain alcoholic beverages on Sunday, referred to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. 680 HB 680 by Flores relating to the law enforcement agency policy regarding drug and alcohol testing for peace officers involved in certain injuries or deaths, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 681 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the policies and procedures of the Department of Family and Protective Services, including service plans and the post-removal assessments, referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 682 by Reynolds relating to the creation of criminal offenses concerning firearms sales at the gun shows, referred to the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 683 by Bernal relating to the use of average enrollment for the purpose of public school finance system, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 684 by Cortez relating to the contacts authorizing the use of photographic traffic signal enforcement systems, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 685 by Bella Montgomery relating to the rates established by municipalities for or water sewer services for certain entities, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 686 by Leo Wilson relating to required disclosures of certain political advertising by political committees providing a criminal penalty, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 687 by Goodwin relating to the establishment of a bullying prevention pilot program for public schools, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 688 by Thompson relating to the applicability of a death penalty to the capital offense committed by a person with an intellectual disability, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 689 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the increasing criminal penalty for certain criminal offenses and a vehicle operated by a public transportation system, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 690 by Lalani relating to the creation of criminal offenses of possessing or smoking tobacco inside or on the grounds of certain state buildings, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 691 by Goodwin relating to the minimum wage, referred to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 692 by Jones of Harris relating to the notification requirement in the public school, including an open enrollment charter school, does not have a nurse assigned to the school during an instruction hours, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 693 by Bernal relating to the calculation of the daily average for Texas districts providing certain full-day kindergarten programs, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 694 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the notification of certain persons concerning certain events related to the children and managing conservatorships in the Department of Public Health Family and Protective Services. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 695 by Leo Wilson relating to the use of certain facilities of a building being used as a polling place or early voting polling place. Refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 696 by Cortez relating to the waivers of state park interest fees and hunting and licensing fees for certain residential first responders. Refers to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 697 by Wally relating to the applicability of prohibitions on municipal and county regulations on the rental or leasing of housing accommodations. Refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 698 by Harrison relating to the abolishment of ad valorem taxation on the creation of the Joint Interim Committee on the abolishment of those taxes. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 699 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the manufactural disclose of cosmetic ingredients or authorizing administrative penalty. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 701 by Bernal relating to the appointment of an attorney ad litem and ad amicus attorney in civil cases of divorce. Refer to the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 702 by Lilani relating to a notification provided by Transportation Networks regarding in the designated bicycle lane. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 703 by Swanson relating to the enforcement of laws relating to the elections. Refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 704 by Bella Montgomery relating to the disconnection of services provided by residential customers for certain utilities and propane gas distribution systems retailers. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 705 by Wilson relating to the cosmetology licensure compact authorizing fees. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 706 by Leo Wilson relating to the jurisdiction of certain national organizations. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 707 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the use of parental child safety placements. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 708 by Busey relating to the sale of distilled spirits and the ultimate consumer by the hold of the distilled and rectifiers permits. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 709 by Thompson relating to the requirement and study of insurance coverage for serious emotional disturbance of a child. Refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 710 by Harrison relating to the recognition of occupational licenses and governmental certifications issued in other states authorizing a fee. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 711 by Goodwin relating to the prohibition on the possession of a firearm by a person following the person's conviction of certain family violences and misdemeanors. Refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 712 by Cortez relating to the health benefit plan coverage for certain tests to detect prostate cancer. Refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 713 by Howard relating to an exception to certain reporting requirements for healthcare providers reviewing scheduled cases for the Texas Maternal Mortality and Morbidity Review Committee. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 714 by Wally relating to the establishment and implementation of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs of the Texas Tenants Readiness and the Landlord's Incentive Pilot Program. Refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 715 by Bernal relating to the prohibition of certain discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity, providing an administrative penalty. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 716 by Jones of Harris relating to the offense of a failure to comply with an order of a fire marshal and certain other county peace officers to issue citations for certain violations, changing a criminal penalty. Refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 717 by Leach relating to the right of a public school employee to engage in religious speech or prayer while on duty. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 718 by Bella Montgomery relating to prohibiting a public institution of higher education for partnering with certain private entities for the construction of student housing facility. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 719 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the manufacture of disclosures of ingredients and toxic metals in lipstick and lip gloss. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 720 by Flores relating to a ketamine treatment grant program for ketamine clinics serving active military personnel, first responders, and veterans. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 721 by Leo Wilson relating to the applicability of certain laws requiring healthcare disclosures by health benefit plan issuers and administrators. Refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 722 by Busey relating to the disclosure of appraisal misses by automobile insurances. Refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 723 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the school bus monitoring systems and required reporting of certain offenses recorded by those systems. Refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 724 by Lilani relating to the notice of health attending and adults employed by a child care facility. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 725 by Shaheen relating to the permissible use of the bilingual educational allotment provided under the Foundation School Program. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 726 by Reynolds relating to the expansion of eligibility for Medicaid to certain individuals under the Federal Patient Protection Act and the Affordable Care Act. Refer to the Committee on Appropriations. HB 727 by Cortez relating to the punishment for the offense of burglary of a vehicle. Refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 728 by Thompson relating to certain procedures and policies and procedure for the placement and the use of video cameras in certain classrooms, including classrooms that provide special education services. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 729 by Bernal relating to the prohibition of housing discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity on the enforcement of that prohibition. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 730 by Swanson relating to the affidavit form for claiming an exemption from required immunizations. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 731 by Wally relating to certain duties of the Texas Mortality Maternal Mortality Morbidity Review Committee refer to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women and Children's Health. HB 732 by Vasu relating to annulment of a marriage on the grounds of impotency refer to the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 733 by Bell of Montgomery relating to the verification of a citizen's or legal residency of purpose for certain contracts for and concerning the purchase of a residential real property located in plotted subdivisions based on a criminal offense referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 734 by Leach relating to the failure to report child abuse and neglect, increasing a criminal penalty referred to the Committee on Human Services. HB 735 by Leo Wilson related to required labeling of meat, poultry, shrimp, and other related food products referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HJR 59 by Busey proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize a political subdivision other than a school district to establish a limitation on the amount of ad valorem taxes that a political subdivision may impose on the residence homestead of a person who are disabled or elderly and their spouses. Referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 60 by Moody proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to enact the laws providing for a court to grant a combination of a punishment for certain individuals serving in imprisonment. Referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HJR 61 by Reynolds, proposing a constitutional amendment requiring the state to expand eligibility for Medicaid for certain individuals under the Federal Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act referred to the Committee on Appropriations. HJR 62 by Schofield proposing a constitutional amendment requiring the state to observe daylight savings time year-round referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HJR 63 by Wally proposing a constitutional amendment to permit additional uses of certain dedicated general revenue transferred each fiscal year to the State Highway Fund referred to the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HJR 64 by Harrison proposing a constitutional amendment to abolish ad valorem taxation referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 65 by Thompson proposing a constitutional amendment allowing recovery exemplary damages by parents or of a person's estate for a homicide refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HJR 66 by Bernal proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to exempt from ad valorem taxation income producing tangible personal property for a certain period of time refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 67 by Bernal proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to exempt from ad valorem taxation the total assessed value of the residential homestead of an unpaid caregiver of an individual who is eligible to receive long-term services and support for the Medicaid program while the individual is on a waiting list for the services and supports refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 68 by Bernal proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to limit the amount of ad valorem taxes that a school district may impose on certain residents' homestead following a substantial school tax increase refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 69 by Bernal proposing a constitutional amendment requiring the state to expand eligibility for Medicaid for certain individuals under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act refer to the Committee on Appropriations. HJR 70 by Reynolds, proposing a constitutional amendment to direct the legislature to authorize and regulate the possession, cultivation, and sale of cannabis for medical use, refer to the Committee on Public Health.
Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday.